Hello, and welcome to Bedtime Stories. My name is Frank Padour, and I'll be reading to you a Grimm Brothers fairy tale entitled The Old Widow. In a certain large town there once lived an old widow who sat every evening alone in her room, thinking how, one by one, she had lost and buried her husband, her 2 sons, and all her relations and friends, so that now she was quite alone in the world. Her heart grew very sorrowful with these thoughts, but the loss of her 2 sons troubled her the most, and she wept for them very bitterly. She sat quite still, lost in thought, and all at once she heard the bell ringing for early prayers in the church. She wondered how she could have passed all the night in sorrowing, but lighting her lantern, she went to the church. As she entered, she saw it was already lit up, but not as usual with tapers, but a glimmering light shone through the whole building. It was already filled with worshippers, and every seat was occupied, so that when the poor widow went to her accustomed place, she had found it already filled. As she looked round at the people, she perceived that they were her deceased relations, who sat there in their old everyday dresses. But with pale countenances, they neither spoke nor sang, but a gentle whisper and hum floated through the church. Presently, an aunt of the poor widow got up and said to her, "Look towards the altar, and you will see your 2 sons." She looked and saw her 2 children, the one hanging on the gallows, and the other broken on the wheel. "See," continued the aunt, "thus would it have happened to them had life been given to them, instead of their being mercifully taken by God when they were innocent children." With trembling steps, the old widow went home, and on her knees thanked God that he had dealt so much better with her than her heart had imagined. But on the 3rd day, she lay down on her bed and died. That was a Grimm Brothers fairy tale entitled The Old Widow. Thank you for listening. Good night, and sweet dreams.